Hello, welcome back to Dr. Noor Firdos Jahan channel, wherein you are trying to explore the world of business management with Dr. Noor, and we are discussing the staffing function in detail. Maybe this is part 7 of staffing function, where I've come to the last part of staffing today, that is separation and remuneration. Two activities of staffing are left in our discussion. Friends, so those two activities I'll be teaching you today. One is, first I'll teach you separation, then I'll teach you about remuneration. Those two things is what I have planned today. With that, staffing function will be completed. So hope all of you are following my videos and viewing my complete videos and sharing videos and subscribing to my channel. If you have not done it, please do it. Correct? Share my videos to your friends. Watch all my videos. Correct? And keep on sharing the videos to your friends and subscribe to my channel. That will help you, that will help me to grow my channel or to bring up more knowledge to you people. So with that hope that you are going to do this, let us start with our topic, separation. So what is separation? One is selection, where you get connected to the company. Then the last step in staffing is separation, where you leave the company. Correct? Selection, you enter the company. Separation, you leave the company. Right? You leave the company for various reasons. The various reasons by which employee is leaving the company, we call it as separation. So one of the common reason is resignation. If the employee have got job somewhere else, which is better paid than what you are paying him here, definitely he will leave the job and go. That is called as voluntarily resigning. Correct? Resignation is a method of separation where employees will voluntarily resign from his position, give the notice period if it is required, resign from the job and go and join somewhere else. He is doing on his own. That is called as resignation. The another type of separation is layoff. Layoff is not voluntary. He don't want to go, but manager will ask you to go. Reason is you're not doing your job well, or maybe they're not getting project from elsewhere. They don't have business. They're not able to give you salary, so they are not able to retain you in the job. So they request you to leave. That is called a layoff. Layoff may be temporary. Note, at present I don't have your requirement. You leave. When I need you, I will call you back. That is called temporary layoff. Permanent layoff is sending him home for, correct, sending him home permanently, telling him no, you don't require for us because we don't have this particular job with us. That is called layoff. Or maybe the discharge, he due to some indisciplinary act an employee have done. Layoff is you don't have job, so you are sending him. You don't have money to pay him, you are sending him. Your inability to provide the job, you go for layoff. But discharge is not that. Discharge is you have job, you need him, but he have behaved in a way that cannot be tolerated. Like he have done smoking in a place where smoking is prohibited, or he had an argument with his colleague which was wrong, or something, or theft he have done, or he have broken the properties of the company, something he have done wrong. So for that, we ask him to leave immediately. That is called suspension, correct? Or discharge. I am discharging you from your duty. And one more type of separation is retirement. Retirement, what happens is every job will have their own retirement age. Some organizations they say 58 years is the retirement age. As soon as you reach to 58, they'll ask you to leave. Or some organizations will say 60 years. Usually they follow here the state government rules. If it is a central government job, they follow the central government rules. Whereas the retirement age will vary from 58 years to 65 years. You can work and you can get retired in 65 years. So all that is allowed. So because you have reached to that particular age level, you have to leave. That kind of, based on age, if you have to quit, it is called as retirement. So too many separations might signify a non-competitive pay scales. So recurrent layoff sometimes results from poor integration of production with market demand, and too many discharge might indicate poor selection of trading procedures. So if see, retirement, you don't have your role, he is attaining the age, you are sending him, but you have to be careful about resignation. If your employees are happy, they will not go away. Since you are not paying them properly, they may be resigning. So be careful about that. And you have done layoff, Why did you appoint so many people we don't have job itself, and asking them go, that will bring down the image of your company. So please manage the separation properly, otherwise the image of your company will get affected. When you give an ad in newspaper next time, people will not apply to your company thinking that there is no job security, and people may not join with you, or they don't want to work with you. That is why people think government job is best. No one will ask us to go. I join today, I can retire based on my age. So stability is there, security is there. So most of them wanted to join the government job. But private, these things are missing, and these are the different types of separations we come across in corporate sector. Hope you are able to understand separation. Then next small topic which I thought I'll complete in this class itself and finish the topics staffing today is remuneration. Please make a note of it. What do you mean by remuneration? Remuneration is the reward given to the employees for the job performed by him. Whatever job he have done, for that you have to reward him. Right? From reward only he will achieve his goals. That is why the right kind of reward should be given. If the reward is good, he will stay in the organization. Reward is not good, he will resign and go. So remuneration is very, very important. And don't remunerate people based on the individual. You remunerate people based on the job. And remuneration plays a very important role because it acts as a motivator. It boosts up their morale, and it creates good image for your company in the minds of the customer. Oh, Tata, they pay very well. Infosys, they pay very well. So this kind of image will be built, and a lot of people will be willing to join you. You can get the best manpower if your remuneration is good. At the same time, too much you pay, then your company will undergo a loss. You have to close down your business. So too much pay is also not possible. See your ability, capability, and you pay accordingly. That is why big MNCs pay good salary compared to the small company. SMEs will pay a little less because their ability to pay is less, but lot of other benefits will be provided to you where you can learn. And if you come to the blue collar employees, either you can pay them on the basis of piece or you can pay them on the basis of time. Two types of remuneration are there. For blue collar employees, that is piece, on the basis of piece per unit you manufacture, you get 10 rupees. Correct? Or time. 8 hours you spend, you get 500 rupees or you get 300 rupees. So either you pay them on the basis of time or you pay them on the basis of piece. That is in case of blue collar employees who are working on machines. You may ask me, ma'am, people are working at the top level or medium level, they are not into manufacturing or selling, how they will be paid? They will be paid they'll be paid on the basis of the time what they spend, that is 8 hours, correct, and 30 days in a month. So for that, salary will be paid to them. Every month they get salary, white collar, and wages for blue collar employees. Correct. So different types of remunerations. Sometimes remuneration will be in pay, that is in money terms, or sometimes it will be other benefits. They may give you the medical card, or they may give you membership in some social club, or they may give you the food free of cost food. The food coupon will be given to you, or transportation facility will be given to you. All these comes under remuneration. So as a manager, when you are performing the staffing function, you have to do all these activities, children. You remember I started from manpower planning. How many people a company need? Manpower planning, then recruitment, then selection, then training and development, then performance appraisal, then separation, then remuneration, and along with that I also taught you about promotion and transfer. So these are the various 10 functions, the 10 steps which are involved in staffing. Right from recruitment to separation, all these activities you will be doing, and as a manager, moreover, you are performing the role of HR manager here and performing all the human related function in staffing. So that's all we have in staffing, students. Hope you are able to understand the complete function. The third function of management staffing comes to an end here. So any doubt, you can please write down in the comment box. Or if you like my videos, please like my videos and share my videos to your friends and subscribe to my channel. So keep watching all my videos. We have completed 4 chapters now, right? Principles of management, then planning, organizing, and staffing. 4 chapters we have completed now. So please take care. See you with the next chapter in the next class.